Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. This is a 2008 Chevy with a Warren key, the Z key, Circle Plus. This truck is a no start, no matter what you do with this thing. Put it in, turn it over. He's been jiggling it forever, supposedly, and today just can't get absolutely nothing to get this thing to turn. There it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this key back a little bit. I'm actually going to add a little bit of metal to this thing with the machine and cut another key just to see if it works better. And we're going to pull this ignition out and get the code off of this. Alright, so I just cut this metal key and added a little to it. This key, there it is. You got to sit here and play with it for a while to get it to turn. I cut this, I added a little metal to it. This thing works absolutely perfect, but we are going to pull this ignition out of here, get the factory code off of it, and we're going to cut a key back to factory specs. I'll show you how to pull this out. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to pull this. I have a long, what is this thing? It's a snap-on scribe with a decent size angle here on the tip. And let me tilt this wheel down. I'm going to show you guys. You just grab this plastic right here above the turn signal. There's no screws in this. This literally just pops together. Yank up on this and the whole thing will pop off. Like so. Take that out of there. And then this is your ignition switch. And let me use the key. This is a non-transponder. Some of these trucks, if they have a chip, you have to put them, step on the brake and put them in reverse and hold the brake, because this thing, you have to turn this ignition all the way to the start position, like trying to crank it, and put a scribe in this top hole and push down in at the same time to release it. Let me see if I can get an angle to show you guys how this pops out. All right, so I have nothing to hold this phone here. So what I did, I just turned this all the way to start. I pushed that pin, this pops slightly out, and you can slide this ignition right up out of here. Let me just wipe this off a little bit and I'll show you where the code is. Alright, so I wiped this off, and that code is going to be on the top right here, this mess of dot matrix crap, not the lower one. So that code, let me just zoom out a little bit. It is right here. And it looks like 3559. G series code 3559. Let's try cutting that and see what happens. Alright, one thing I want to show you guys, this sidebar, see how it pulls back nice and flush with that first key that I made? You put this in, everything lines up, and this sidebar right here drops back in nice and flush, right there. Everything is nice and flush. And if I take this key out and I put this original Warren Chevy key back in there, this just will drop in. That's all the way in, and you see that's sticking out, not dropping all the way back. And you can see these two pins right here are moving. See that? Sticking right out there. Now if I take that out and put the metal back in that I cut, it pulls right back in nice. When you tap on it, nothing moves. So let's cut this and we'll see what's going on. Alright, so with the Gymkhana, we're going to choose Chevrolet. It is a Silverado 1500. Nope, that's too new. Let's go back up. Just go to regular Silverado. Next, G series code. Next, we're gonna cut by code. Punch in G3559. Hit next. Next, use 0. So we're gonna stick this key in right about use 0 there. Tighten that down, and we'll hit cut. Let it do its thing, and we'll check it. All right, so I cut this G3559. Put that in. Absolutely perfect. And that and that, I mean, it looks close, but with this GM stuff, it's so fickle that that little bit of a difference makes all the difference in the world in the way that they function in the ignition. Like this would not turn, well, it'll turn if you sit there and fiddle with it for a half an hour, but this is perfect. I'm going to cut this on a transponder, and we're going to program it in the key, and the car will cycle it in. I'll show you how we can cheat this and cycle it in. Okay, so I cut a new chipped key. This is the metal key, the test key that we cut, and we know this one goes in but turns like crap. So what we're going to do, slide this test key in here. I'm just going to line up, zoom in a little bit for you guys. This notch right here will fit right in that notch. Slides in, and you can turn this off like this, and you see our security light comes on right there. So this truck will not start, and I'll show you. This is the new chipped key that I cut. Put this in, security's on. It still won't start with the new key. What we know, it'll start with this old key, but the problem is it doesn't turn unless you fight with it for, you know, a few minutes to get it to turn. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put that metal key in that we know that works, hold the head of this up against it, and we're gonna wanna watch that security light go out. Put this in, turn it on. Our orange little padlock light didn't go out. All right, so let's turn the key over the other way. We're trying to get it close to this ring right here on the ignition, so it reads the chip in the key. Okay, see, it just went out. It was right over there. Let me just show you that again for anybody that didn't catch it. Turn it off, turn it on. Security went out. So technically right now, I can start this truck just like this, just by holding this key up to the head of it. So now with GM, this thing cranks and cranks just to start. So I'm going to hold this up to the head. I'm going to turn this. That security light's on. Security's going to go off. Off. Turn this all out. Take it out. Put this over here. Take this chip key. Slip it in. Turn it. There's our security. It's going to go out. Boom. Key's programmed. Easy as that. It's a cycle in. So now we can just stick this key in, turn it. And this truck is a runner. Easy as that. And it works absolutely perfect in there. Once in a while you have to change some pins in the ignition in these trucks, just because they're so worn, or at that point I would just change the ignition, to be honest with you, if it's that worn. But what it comes from is people that have huge rings of keys like this. They put this stuff on there, you know, a few keys, and it pulls down on the ignition. And what it does is it just from that little bit of vibration will wear the key out. So this one still won't turn in there, but the new one we'll start it and run it perfect now. And it's as easy as that. This ignition will work till they put a big ring of keys on this and wear this ignition out, or this key out. But this is done. I'm going to pop this back on here. It literally pops right back together, and I'll show you this quick because I need both hands to pop it together. All right, so this is all back together. This is all popped in. This side is all popped in nice. And now we're going to throw this key out off of, well, I'll leave it with the mechanic here at the shop. They can do whatever they want with it. But this key is going to go on that ring, and they can do whatever they want. And this truck is perfect. We're done. And it's as easy as that.